Hello, I'm back again. Another video. I've just really gotten excited about these restaurants, so I had another idea. Instead of underwater, this time we're going up high. Treetops. So again, just exploiting the no path seats for these restaurants. It's great, so you can just chuck them anywhere. And so I wanted to do a South American jungle style canopy restaurant. Um, yeah, so here we go. I'm going to try and talk through the whole thing this time and not get extracted? No, distracted even by things going on outside. And I'm filming at lunchtime. So, spiral staircase. Yes. It's a bit precarious. It doesn't have any railings, but the pain that you'll see soon of ropes. I find the axis really difficult in this game to work with a lot of the time. And I thought it would just drive me mad trying to do ropes or any sort of railing. I was going to do a wooden plank at the side, but I thought it might ruin the look of the nice spiral, so just hug the tree on the way up. There will be railings up top when the chairs are up there, but not around the spiral staircase, and I just really like the look of it hugging up the tree like that. So yeah, so at the moment I'm just trying to get the shapes of everything I want and the layout of where the raised seating is going to go. Oh, that little cushion I put to the side. I think it's one of my favourite pieces from the new Europe pack. So sorry if you don't have all the packs, because I think that's probably the only piece I use from the Europe pack. Oh, that and no, the candles as well. But I just love the cushion. It can turn something that looks like nothing into suddenly a lovely little cosy seating area, which we'll see later. And this is so building a rope bridge now, trying to just get all the elements in that I want. So this is going to take the guests from little seating area to seating area again, and not having to do the paths and then try and cover up the big solid bits underneath, and they're big pieces to cover up scenery. So I just love this new restaurant. I know that the guests just kind of pop in and out, but I don't mind about that at all. Oh, here comes the rope faff. I don't know why the axis. I have some troubles with Planet Coaster and the axis, but this game is just something else. I don't really help myself from the way I start to build, because I think it's trying to find like the middle point. Maybe if I'd started to build on a grid, it would be better. But yeah, faff. But I love the bamboo, and then these little rope coils. I think can just make everything look a little bit neater. Well, not neater as such, but because they're quite scrappy, but they're meant to look scrappy, just to finish it off and make it look like the rope is actually being attached to something. So that really pleased me. It kind of defies the laws of physics, I think, with how a rope bridge should really go. There's not much support, but it works. Oh, and then I wish there was tiny little rope pieces, but the smallest ones we've got are these new coloured from the North African pack, I think, which kind of worked as a little crisscross, but it'd be nice if we had some really, really small, like 1 metre rope pieces straight. That'd be lovely. Sorry, there will be moments where, because I'm just watching it, where I just go silent. I won't say anything. But I shall try to keep explaining all the way through and not just disappear this time. But this is just more bamboo, rope faff, bamboo and rope faff. And I tried also to keep the camera a bit still, but I failed. I move it around a lot more than I think, and then that is made a lot more obvious when you speed it up. I think 7 times I've sped it up. So sorry about that. Sorry if you get a bit of motion sickness. Oh, it's my little cushion again. I had to remove it from the building, or it would just get moved and copied around. I do that a lot. Attach things to buildings without realising. So okay, now starting to do the main restaurant bit. I like doing this, covering up the internal restaurant sort of the inside, and this big white, because I can't see that you can recolour it, the actual restaurant. So I suppose that they just encourage you to cover it up like I do with the theme that you're going for. But it would be nice if you could recolour that very stark white. But I completely cover it up anyway. And I always like to do a bit of, always, this is my second restaurant, but I like to do a bit of stone behind the actual cooking area. Just feels a bit more kitcheny. So yeah, very South American themed, all thatchy, jungly, bamboo-y, which I love to build in this kind of style because you can get away with mess, and that's my favourite thing to do. Oh, and covered up the floor as well in the kitchen. I might put some music just behind this. If you're hearing this, I possibly have done. Oh, and this was fun. So I covered up the kitchen worktops as well. I know one bit it looks like it's sort of a bin or um, a garbage disposal thing, bin disposal. So it looks a bit weird that it goes straight into stone, but never mind. It's just a little covered seating area now, just in case it rains. I wish that we had smaller chairs as well, like two-person seating or four-person seating. I'm just kind of nitpicking because I do love the chairs, but it would be nice if we had some smaller tables as well. Yeah, I was going to do some little booths there, but I thought no, I'll make a feature instead. And I think this restaurant does actually have the full 20 tables. It did have 19 at one point, but I managed to squeeze in another, so it does have all the full tables. Yeah, so I decided to do a little water feature instead. So it's just the noise of it. Oh, I've just realised I forgot to put speakers again. So, and I think there are. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there are speakers in the game to have some nice rainforest noises and some ambient noises, which I completely forgot to do. Oh, this is nice. So I thought that the foliage would be growing through the cracked paving stone, so I put some little tufts poking out, which I thought was a nice little touch. But yes, it's meant I should have done ambient noises, but I suppose if it's in a zoo, then there's going to be real animal noises around to give the ambient sounds, so fine. I'm just trying to make it as cozy as possible, so I don't want it open, apart from this front bit, because I thought this could either back onto, I do make it a lake in the end, but which isn't saved, but I thought just to give sort of an idea. But you could have barriers at the front there and just backing right onto a habitat. Oh, talking of axis, this was a faff. I don't know why. I should have just done it straight and then curved them. But I tried to follow the bamboo, and I kind of picked a weird one to start with, and then trying to line them up was, oh, it was just so painful. I think I even cut some of it out in a bit, because it was horrible. I tried to then rotate them and then bend them, but it was horrible anyway. So I just did them all manually. I found it easier to do them up top and then bring them down. Yes, so but it works. I just wanted to give a little bit of fairy light, a nice ambience underneath. So it kind of worked in the end, but it was very, very painful. And I love those little candles. And again, some more fairy lights. And in hindsight, I probably should have used these ones. I think they would probably be easier to work with for the canopy, but oh well. Some little decorations. Yeah, I understand that fire tree with wooden steps is a little bit unrealistic, so I do remove those. But I wanted a glow. I wanted a nice cozy glow to all the lighting, but I do replace those with candles. Oh yeah, and this bit I thought have oh, I don't know if you could hear next door's dog. Had a little bit of a bark then. Anyway, so wanted a nice little area for booths, which I haven't used yet. So just to change it up a bit, I was going to do, which I think you can see actually, I was going to do like a waterfall backdrop. I thought that'd be quite nice in a jungly area, but it's a bit splashy, and it might be a bit distracting if you're trying to have your dinner and being splashed, and it was a bit over the top. I could have done just a little trickly one in a corner, but in the end I decided to do a big trellis, and I spent ages doing this. And then I pretty much cover it all up with plants, but again, loving using the rope joins. It just looks a lot more realistic, looking like they're actually properly joined. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Anyway, joined will do. So they're not just mushed in, and you can see the clipping. So that's to say, I can pretty much completely cover it up anyway, but I know it's there. I know it's all neat underneath. Ropes, ropes, ropes. Coiled ropes, coiled ropes. I probably could have cut a lot of this out or sped it up a bit more. Because, yeah, not much to say about adding lots of ropes. Oh, I think this is the last bit. I think now we're foliage time. I have got the filter on for South America, so I did just kind of want to stick to one theme. It's easier as well when you've only got like a limited box of foliage Lego, as it were, or I just end up doing too much and then get a bit overwhelmed with, oh, what piece to use? And I thought it worked well. And, you know, they're probably, yeah, it's not realistic that they're meant to be floor plants, but you know, it doesn't matter. They work as climbers and a sort of hedge backdrop here. There we go. I pushed it back a bit so you can see all my hard work. And again, you know, it's probably not very realistic having these flowers sideways, but it works. And it makes a lovely little cozy trellis area. So I kind of would have liked to do a fountain, I mean a waterfall. Perhaps I could have done one in the corner, but I quite like this little covered up booth zone. Oh, here we go. So I've taken off the fire hazard, and now putting a naked flame but nice and covered in glass, so it still gives that cozy feel. I love these little candles, and you can just snap them in. I wanted to cover up the whole sort of edges to give the whole restaurant a very secluded feel. I didn't want any, apart from that big front bit, I didn't want any open areas. Oh, and here we go. Here's the cushion bit. So just some rocks that look like rocks, plop a few cushions down, nice little seating area. I love the cushions. Because without that it would be like, okay, just some rocks, but now it probably looks like a little stone seating area. So the idea is, even though they don't do it, the idea is that they come and sit here while waiting for their table. Oh yeah, I like that little fire, and I thought, oh, that'll be fun. Plop that there, and then back I go. Trying to find a coffee table. I thought it was just nice, but it's a bit too, it broke my theming. It was a bit too Indian theme, and I think it even says India on it, so I chose a little palette. This is where I'd like Planet Coaster, and I'd like a little book to plop on there, but alas, but I do have a deck chair. So yeah, I really like this little seating area. All made possible by the cushions. Ah, right, this bit. So I have a funny thing where I think I've changed the privacy settings on my recording, on my shadow play, so if I click off, it stopped recording. And this time I didn't notice, and those who know him, this is all Trooper Matthew's fault. He was messaging me on Discord that he was being terrorised and he was home alone and scared about a very oh so scary butterfly. I kid not. So it missed, all it missed was some background foliage, a lot of pot placing, little bits of clutter, which, I mean, I kind of think are my favourite bits to do. So if you know him, you can all give Trooper Matthew a big boo for his butterfly nonsense, which cut out a lot of the small little detail placing and background foliage. Yeah, again, just filling all the gaps. When you're in the restaurant, you can't see anything behind. There we go, see some pots there that you missed getting placed. More little tufts poking out through the ground. And back to rope faff. Oh, this bit was painful. And I think at this point is when I decided there is no way I'm going to do something around that spiral staircase. Because it was just annoying to do it around the circular platforms. So to then try and do that around a spiral, it would have looked like a spaghetti junction of ropes. Or, like I said earlier, I could have done planks, just sort of edges poking up. But then I think it would have been a bit too bulky and ruin the nice look of the spiral staircase. So just take care. If you're going up, hold on to your children. Don't go too near the edge. And if you are going to fall, I suppose try and go towards the lake when that arrives. But most of my zoos have a disclaimer anyway that no injury caused is the fault of the zoo. So just take care. This is just to cover up I don't want the raw edges of the bamboo. I'm just checking that it's going to fit. So this just made a nice little edge. I have realised this bit, I don't think I pushed it down far enough. So the rope bridge which goes between the sections, yeah, it's poking up through the last panel of the bridge. So, which I haven't fixed, so sorry about that. So, if you do download this and you don't like the look of it, please lower the trim or raise the last little slat of the rope bridge. Thanks. Here we go, fit in a 20th table. And that was completely by accident as well, didn't even realise. Or maybe that was a 19th table. I can't remember now. I think it was all 20. And it was just complete coincidence. So here we go, some safety. This little rope railings around all the platforms. So I do think of some safety. The only way I could make the axis my friend was to use grid and do it this way, and it worked. Oh, this was a faff though. Sorry, it seems like because I'm watching it, so all I'm doing is just remembering. Oh, this bit was painful, but it was. I just wish we had smaller rope pieces, straight rope pieces, and then I could have neatened these up a bit more. But oh well, it works. Back to this, which it was never straight from the beginning, so I think I finally fix it now and make it straight. I think that's pretty much complete. Oh, just some little candles. Yeah, I love these candles. I think that's pretty much done. Bunch of candles, a few pots, and complete. Oh, and I do put a lake, but again, yeah, that's just to kind of have a little bit of life to it. So I put a lake and some flamingos in. For this bit, because I thought it would be nice, even though the whole thing is very... Oh no, I forgot. Oh, I've got to do the whole entrance bit. Never mind. And again, covering up all the just prefab restaurant, very white walls and floors. I didn't go with the theme. Oh yeah, no, I thought, oh, a hammock would be nice, but I couldn't really think of where to put it, so I left it. Pots, pots, pots. And this is the worst bit as well. This is when I fly around. I tried not to do it this time as much as I usually do. If I'm just building without recording, I fly around everywhere. And I tried to stick as much as I could to one spot. But yes, I still fly around quite a lot. My trusty bamboo. And here's a sign of no, I'm not very pleased with how this turned out, but it'll do. Oh, not quite yet. First windows. Now it's sign time. Not the most original name, but that's what it says on the tin. I do put a backdrop because I thought it was a bit too busy having the bamboo behind it. It was all a bit... It was difficult to read. Even if I changed the colour, it would still just be a bit difficult to read with the bamboo lines everywhere. So I do decide to put like a plaster backdrop in a sec. It's very useful having these little fonts, especially the kind of I can't remember what it's called now, but the more simple, plain one, rather than the kind of cartoony looking one we had. Well, I'm going way back then, but I've barely played it since I don't know, the Australia pack came out, and I played about half an hour of that, and then I think we had then some animal packs, and then the North Africa pack came out, which I was really excited about, and then just hardly played it at all. So for some reason the restaurants is what has got me back into playing. I thought it would be the badges, but it's the restaurants and the cushions. I didn't do much to the front, just kind of tidied it up, and well, when I say tidied it up, I add messy plants, so I just tried to kind of finish it off, but didn't really spend too much time around the front. But yeah, I do like to cover up all this because it breaks the theming to come into a very like hard, clinical kind of restaurant-y look. I'd like to have a little overhang. Oh, very important pot placement there. Covering up a hole. If in doubt, place a pot. Oh, and this pot is now a chimney. Thought for the extractor fan. I mean, it doesn't really go anywhere there, but it gives the look of there is an extractor fan. Oh, this confused me. So I thought I'm sure there were lights there. Maybe I've sunk them in too much. And then I realised after a while, oh, I know, it's just because the restaurant's not connected, so it's not technically on. so the lights only come on when it's actually working. So I think I place lights in confusion, but I do remove them. So it isn't double lit. These do go. And this is it now. So little lake, just to give the feel of what could be there, and yeah.